Welcome to Bionic Life. My name is Kevin, and today we are going to be putting in a driveway. We got started last night, and I wasn't going to film this because it was sort of the same, but I ran into a few things and it makes it a little bit different. The last driveway, we shuttled all the dirt that we excavated off of the site into a pile just using the tractors. This is a little bit further, and we're going to use a dump trailer for that. The thing is I have a load of 411 which I think some people call crusher run. It's basically 1-inch material down to dust, and it helps lock things in. So we're gonna start by getting a spot to dump the 411, which means we have to get an area that's ready to accept fabric and number 4 stone. What I ran into last night is I was tilling, I was just running the tiller and pushing the dirt, and I ran into the issue that the tiller was not getting in deep enough. It was basically bouncing off of this clay. The soil's pretty tight over here, and we haven't had a whole lot of rain, so that isn't helping much. So I'm gonna have to scratch this area, get down maybe 3-4 inches. I'm not going very deep with this. Loosen the soil up, push it over to the middle of the path of the driveway, push it into this pile, get the fabric down, put number 4, tighten it up with 411. There's one area where the new driveway is going to tie into an existing pad. Now this pad is sandstone, and I thought it was a great idea because the material was cheap, but what I found is while it provides a great base, the surface turns to dust. And when you get a little bit of a rain, it turns to slime, and it's kind of not much better than mud, except you don't sink in it. That particular spot, we'll get a dressing of gravel once we're done with everything else. My drive is about 2 foot wider than the end of the pad. So there'll be a strip where I'm going to excavate the dirt down, just put in some number 4 stone. I'm gonna go a little deeper there, maybe 8-10 inches, put some number 4 stone in there, and then we'll run fabric the rest of the way. Don't know if it's the best idea. I just wanna have a defined line if I choose to extend in the future where I left off without having a mushy spot in between. Let's get started. I'm gonna have my son, aka cameraman, drive my truck, and I'm gonna load, and he's gonna transport it where we're dumping it. As I was pushing this pile up, this is where we're dumping the dirt that we're excavating from the driveway. And my son assures me that it will be put to good use with he and his dirt bike riding buddies. As I was pushing it up, it reminded me when I bought this tractor. I bought it new, but it had 6 hours on it. And what had happened, I think, it has a slightly oversized medium duty material handling bucket. It's not really a heavy duty construction bucket, but it's more than adequate for my application. And when you get a scoop of dirt in there, the back end of the tractor was lifting up immediately. So now I can take a full scoop, and I'm going to demonstrate it here in a minute, but I can take a full scoop as much as this loader, and it is stock. I have not tweaked the pressure relief or anything like that. So it will actually stop lifting before it picks the back end of the tractor up. The back of the tractor, when I bought it, did not have loaded tires, did not have wheel weights. So I added beet juice or rim guard, whatever you want to call it, to the rear tires. And then I found a set of, I think they're Farmall or International wheel weights. They actually had to be machined down on the outer diameter, the OD, to fit inside the rims. And I had my son, my older boy, did that when he was at machine trade school. So he got them, re-drilled the holes so they would bolt up to the Kubota. We have them bolted up. So I think that's going to be added almost like 275, 300 pounds, somewhere in that ballpark. I'm not sure. I think these wheel weights run about 150 pounds, but we did machine a little bit off the OD so they would fit. The other thing right now is I have a tiller hanging off the back. As you've seen in many of the shots leading up to this, that adds that additional ballast. This tractor is very, very stable, and it'll actually bog down the hydraulics before the back end of the tractor lifts up, and that's pretty important. Not sure if you can hear me over the tractor, but I have joist it all the way back, attempting to lift, and it will not lift with the bucket in the pile. I'm going to go ahead and ease off and back up. It will lift what's in there. And just give you an example. As you saw, the rear wheels were not lifting off the ground. Now I'm going to go ahead and bounce this load just to show that these tires pretty much stay right on the ground. With a full bucket, this tractor is pretty stable. That's good. Actually, go forward just a smidge. Good to see your hand. Yeah, there, that's good. I'm gonna keep going a little bit more. We've got the fabric down. We got the big pile of dirt moved. We're gonna be able to continue with rolling the fabric out. We stopped short. I think we got somewhere around 60, 70 feet installed with the number 4. Today kind of went as planned and kind of didn't. We got the fabric down. We got the mound of dirt hauled. We got the number 4 pretty much in for about 60, 70 feet. 411 was a little bit of a snafu. They underfilled the guy that was delivering, so he was about 5 tons shy. I went, grabbed another load in my dump trailer. He grabbed another load in his quad axle dump truck. We brought it back. I now have basically 2 full loads of number 4, a load and 3/4 of 411 delivered by semi. I have 1 pile of 411, probably almost 5 ton from the other day that was in my trailer. And we also have, I went and picked up another 5 ton. So I think we have about 30 tons of 411. That should be good for finishing up what we have here. The number 4 is gonna finish out the drive, and then we're gonna work on in a future project, maybe expanding the work area where we can actually process wood and store wood. One thing I found with totes is if they sit in any kind of mud and it gets really cold, they will freeze into the ground, and sometimes you tear a bottom off. I'll grab one of those, be back in 1 second. I don't think the first year that I used these 2 years ago that it did that, because I don't think it got that cold. We had some colder temps than we've had the previous winter, and the corner came off of one and basically half of the bottom came off the other. They're still serviceable. You just have to slide the forks under the floor pan of that tote and you can still use them. It's getting a little later in the evening, probably got an hour and a half worth of daylight. Like a big old game of horseshoes. I'm gonna go ahead and just try the backhoe by itself, kind of bail it into the center, break it loose with the teeth, run the motor over it, push some of the loose dirt out, and see if that's any faster than pre-tilling with the rototiller, and then cleaning up any areas with the backhoe. This roll of string, I swear, has been in my family for ever since I can remember. We used it to plant a garden when I know for sure in junior high. So it's been around for a while. So we're gonna use it to lay out one straight line, and then we'll measure off that straight line, and then we're gonna dig it with a backhoe. Ah! Bucket's up in the air. I'm going to try to get as close to the building going forward as I can. I don't know how far I'll get tonight. It's getting a little dark. But as I said, I get on and off the backhoe on the passenger side just for ease. The other side, kind of complicated. So yesterday we ended right where the fabric is, over in the treasure trove area. We had to kind of do a parting of the seas to get everything through there. Organization will come at a later date. We broke up some of the ground right here was really hard. The tiller, I ran the tiller up here, but I was only getting, literally it was only taking the sod off on this side, and over on that side, I mean, it went down 2-3 inches. I broke it down the best I could with the tiller. Then with last night, probably started 8:30, quarter after 8. Was out here about 2 hours. Broke up most of the area. We're gonna scoop the dirt out today of what we have done. I may go towards the shop a little bit more and finish that up. We'll see how it goes. I need to make this area accessible to the guy that's hauling my stone. So that needs to be rolled out, at least have number 4 on it, hopefully some 411 on top, and get it accessible. So I'm gonna have him dump some stone over by the other piles. here dug out. Found a bunch more treasures. Bunch of scrap steel I forgot about. Got the, I guess forgot to dig that drainage line out the rest of the way. Right here is some pewter. I'm gonna use that for casting purposes. Just never got around to it. I had a bunch of stuff I was gonna do and then had some medical issues there back, like I said previously in the video. Kind of put the kibosh to things for a little bit. Have everything excavated out, I think. We're gonna dig this out, move the dirt. I'm just gonna pile it up close for right now. And then we'll move it maybe in the evening or something. But the goal is get this dug out here within the next half hour, roll out the fabric to the edge of the concrete, burn it in with a torch or burn it off with a torch, lay it, and get some number 4 on it at least before we have to head to our 4-H event. Evening this out. I'm gonna back drag it. I'm gonna do the best I can back dragging it. This stuff is like marbles when it's on this fabric. It seems like it locks in better when you have just the clay base, but it definitely rolls around on this fabric. This project is titled Better Than a Shovel. That backhoe is much better than a shovel. I used the shovel maybe 2 times to scoop out a couple clumps of dirt, and that's about it. I dug into the corners. Yeah, I lost a little bit of gravel when I dug into the point over there, but that beats getting on and off a tractor shoveling. And when you're an amputee, a hip dysartic amputee, you are really looking for ways to limit on and off of equipment. And digging into corners, yeah, you lose a couple 100 pounds, maybe 100 pounds of gravel, but you do save yourself a lot of frustration. So in the end, I think it's worth it. But we'll get this leveled out and get some 411 on here. A little bit more touch up on, I've been moving stone, didn't realize our battery was dead in our other phone. So I've been moving 411. I have a low spot right on this edge. So I loaded the bucket heavy on the left side. And theoretically, I shouldn't have to back drag too much. I'll try to feather it out along this edge here. And once we're finished, that should pretty much wrap it up. I'm going to bring some of the 57 you see up here. I'm going to bring it down this drive and sort of blend it in here a little bit. But this drive section here, from here over to the woodshed, is all about utility. And it's not so much about looks. So I know with some rain, all the fines that are in this 411 will work down over time into the number 4 stone. There's probably a good 4 or 5 inches of number 4 in there. But we'll finish spreading out the 411, back drag it, get it kind of leveled out the best I can. We'll get some rain on it at some point, maybe. It's not looking promising in the forecast. And then then this should be good. We'll do some finish grading at that point. Have a little bit of dirt over here. There's a little ridge here and a pile up there. I'm going to clean those up tonight. Finish this out, and then we'll wrap this up. tonight, and I think the project's just about finished. We may have to cut in a swale. We do have it pretty much to grade. I need to rake it out a little bit. I really kind of want rain to hit this because I know some of the fines will work its way down into the larger stone. I just want to kind of see how that looks after a good rain. Then we'll go ahead and back drag it one more time, put the back blade on, kind of smooth everything out, get the edges a little more filled in. I'm really looking forward for a way to get back to the wood yard in the winter and in the early spring and late fall when everything's kind of a soupy mess around here. Looking forward to that. If you found value in this content, please like and subscribe, and if you know somebody who would find value in it, please share. Thanks for watching.